Are you ready? Are you steady? Are you excited? It's okay, no one's watching this anyway. It'll just be for the YouTube later. I'll just cut off this first like. What time is it now? First 40 minutes, it'll be fine.
What's up, Roger?
Anyway, we're just getting ready. Do you want me to tell you your stuff for your leveling up, or did the stuff we talked about on the phone earlier get you mostly squared away?
Yeah, it's all squared away. Don't worry about it.
Sweet. Okay, so I just gotta send this picture to RJ so he can see numbers. Of course, the lighting in the room is terrible, but we're not going to talk about that.
RJ, RJ, can you
He
hear me, man?
he's talking with other people.
Fine. He doesn't love me. I get it.
It's okay. You'll be alright. Okay, that's like
That's the rock star to him.
I should throw rocks. Yes, do that. He deserved it.
Right.
All right. Again, I apologize for that not being super helpful, but it's better than nothing. I'll fill it out later. Okay, so where were we? Now that we've got our characters all squared away, where did we leave off? Someone give us a quick summary.
Found a ship, bro. We found a ship.
You did find a ship?
When we had little robots working on repairing our ship, and we killed the big robot because he's a dick.
You did do all those things. So we left off right after you guys finished off the other robot and got the worker drones heading towards building the ship. So.
Yep, and we found out that Raj was part of the captain's group.
You are 100% correct. Your friend Raj, who's been traveling with you this entire time.
Hey, friend. It's awfully early to call him friend.
Look, I've saved all your lives at least once.
It's awfully early to call you friend.
I mean, you did kidnap us.
Allegedly.
Pretty sure. This could just be a fucking big setup to get us fucked over.
It could.
You
never know.
I'll have to reserve my judgment till later.
Fair enough. So you guys have procured a ship, right? So there's robots building it, and they have a certain amount of time that they have to work on things. I'm going to yada yada you guys leave in the other room as the droids fly back and forth to grab pieces and parts. There's a small blinking console next to the ship. There's actually small blinking consoles next to all the ships, but the only one that the robots seem to be working on is the one that isn't smashed by random stuff.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
What type of console is it, Roger?
So this looks to be like a maintenance console, something that you've seen on plenty of shipyards. It's a quick access drive to the drones, basically. So like the big console upstairs controls all of them. This console just controls the ones connected to whatever's fixing the ship.
Copy that. Can I access the console?
Yeah. It doesn't seem to be locked or anything now that the drones are active.
I'm gonna go and access the console.
You do so! And on the console screen, there's a couple questions, decisions, things like that. Apparently there were some parts inside the ship that they want to install. They seem to be weapons that were stolen or stored there previously. And they need to make decisions on which ones you guys want to put on there.
Alright, this seems like a group decision. Is there any way to tell what the ship's last, home was or docking was based upon what's on this console?
So, yes, 100%. You can tell it's been built here from scavenged parts and pieces.
So it's never left this planet, this chunk of fucking rock?
Nope. Besides maybe test flights and things. It does have a name at this point.
What's its name?
It's called Irma's Revenge.
Irma? Who's Irma? Is there anything about Irma?
Not that you know, but you do have a character that you could probably talk to that might have a better insight.
Yeah, Raj. Who's Irma? Raj?
Irma was the captain.
Ah, why is she getting revenge?
It was a play on an old ship name from Gamora or something. I don't know. She heard a story and liked the name.
Well, good for her.
Something about a queen, Anne, and a pirate named Silverbeard,
Silverbeard?
Gristlebeard. I don't remember. Some kind of beard.
Something along those lines with the word beard in it? Got it. Message received. Alright, guys, what type of guns do we want to put on this?
So I'm gonna throw it on my. Oh, hey, actually, I have a new mechanic that I want to introduce tonight. DM hat versus player hat. So you guys have to pay attention to me every once in a while. But DM hat is for me doing DM stuff. Anyway, so currently, your choices for weapons are relatively limited. And just know that I did a lot of finagling and whatnot to be able to fit all these on here.
Give us a stick with limited weapons. That's cool, Roger.
The big question is, do you want a beam particle cannon on the forward weapon? Or rocket launchers and extra lasers? Sorry, torpedo launchers and extra lasers.
I look at the pattern and like, what is most useful?
Probably the torpedoes and it's probably the torpedo launchers and extra lasers.
Well, guys, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make the choice. I'll leave it up to the nerdy folks.
Okay, nerdy folk, it's up to you. Raj doesn't care. He's been building this ship for way too long to be like, hey, just put that together and we need to leave.
I'm trying to go with that.
Okay, so you'll know for later that you are storing a heavy laser cannon inside the ship's storage area. It's taking up one of your docks that you can build stuff with later. And I'll go over the ship. Actually, this is probably the right time to go over the ship. So the Queen Anne's Revenge is a tier 3 ship. Since you guys are all level 3, makes life really easy. It's a scrapyard transport. It's a medium size with a transport frame. It is a medium speed ship, so it goes 10 spaces at a time. It's average maneuverability, which means when you're flying around, it only takes 2 ticks for it to completely turn, which is nice. It has a drift drive of 1, or rating 1 drift drive, so it's the slowest, but you can go in the drift. It's pretty bulky for its ship size. It has 70 hull, and depending on who is piloting the ship itself, changes its AC and target lock. It has 30 total shields, which shields act like stamina points, but for ships. Currently, it has 1 light particle beam on the front. Its aft has 2 light lasers, and the turret weapons that it has currently applied are 2 laser cannons and a light torpedo launcher.
Light torpedo launcher, got it.
Yes. But the nice thing about turrets is they have a 360-degree targeting spectrum, so you can aim them at anything. The 2 types of weapons, just to explain that really quick, are direct fire weapons and guided weapons. Right? The torpedoes are guided weapons, and they take a couple rounds to hit their target, and they have to hit the target's target lock to continue to hit them. The direct fire, on the other hand, have to hit the ship's AC.
How many spaces across is the ship?
So it's a medium. Sizes on ships are kind of abstract, so they don't really take up more than 1 square because you're in space. It just makes life easier. They tried to do this hex grid thing, which I'll talk about when we actually start flying. And I'll visually show you. Oh, I need to grab ships. You know what? We're using dice for ships tonight because I don't want to have to go get my X-Wing stuff. I've wasted too much time. I apologize. Next time we play and have ships, I'll try and remember how to have them out.
I don't know, Roger. Your feeling's pretty bad, bro.
I'm sorry. The storage capacity for your ship has a minimum of 1 person needs to be there to fly it. It has a captain slot, an engineer slot, gunner slots, the pilot slot, and silence officers. It can hold a max of 6 people as crew, but it also has 3 cargo holds that can be turned into other stuff. It has an escape pod bay and a med bay already built into it. So it's a pretty good sized ship. Again, I've already talked about the armors. It's got a pretty nice computer. A good living quarters, okay defenses, and budget long-range sensors. Which means you guys get a little bit of negatives when you roll for detecting stuff, but you can see really far away, which is nice. Let's see.
Question.
Answer.
Is there any way to program these robots to come on the ship and be our repair guys as we continue on with our lives? Like, could I?
That is a question. You could probably use up one of your storage space to store a few of them. Because right now it has 3 cargo holds, and one of them is being used to store your installed weapons. So you could take up another one and maybe store 3 flying robots with you.
I think that'd be a good idea to have these things for repair again. What about you? What do you guys think?
I think it's smart.
That's a great idea. I will mark it down on the ship. So you guys are taking 3. Okay, 3 repair robots are taking up another one of your cargo bays. Cool beans. Okay. Read my book. So the said robots tell you that you have about. Let's roll for it. Cool. So if you guys remember before, you had 3 hours when you first got into this building fighting the monster and navigating the stuff you guys have done so far. Has taken. Sorry, I need a multiplier here. Where's my D4? I need a D4. Whatever, we'll use a D8. Cut in half. Go good. Oh, okay. So you guys have taken a good majority of your time. You guys have an hour and a half left. Getting through things apparently took much longer.
Get the fuck out of her.
Yeah. The robots tell you you have just enough time to finish up and get out of here. But they're going as fast as they can go. You have the most amount of robots you can apply to fixing the ship. So there's literally you will be biting the bullet to avoid the radiation and get out of here. But that does leave you guys an hour and a half to do whatever else you want to do. You can either try and familiarize yourself with your ship to get a little bit of a bonus on whatever and figure out what jobs you guys want to do while you're in the ship, or there's a slight bit more exploring that you could do back in the crew quarters, because that's the only place you guys didn't check. You checked the officers' quarters and the freezer bay, but you did not check the crew quarters. But you are all relatively hurt, and it might be a good choice to just rest for a while the ship finishes and then get the heck out of Dodge. But there could be cool things in the crew quarters. The choice is yours.
Can I search the crew quarters?
You can take some of your time to go search the crew quarters. Do you want anyone to go with you, or are you going to scamper off on your own?
I'm just going to tell them, hey, I'm going to go search this shit over here.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at this captain stuff. I think if anyone deserves to be captain, it's me.
Okay.
You even know how to drive? You're a rock star.
Well, so that's the thing. Pilot and captain are 2 separate positions.
Well, excuse the hell out of me.
Yeah, it seems silly, but yeah, no. Pilot and captain are 2 totally separate things. So as you try to figure out what the heck the captain does in the captain's seat, let me jump open mechanics for that.
This is our boat?
We are talking about the boat. Yeah, you missed all the fun information.
Russ, what's going on?
Working, digesting my German chocolate cake my girl made me.
I hate you.
5 layer, horrible.
I want a girl to make me German chocolate cake.
Sorry.
Is suicide an option, Roger?
Is what?
Is suicide an option?
In the game?
Either or.
I mean, technically, I guess yes, but I wouldn't recommend it. Sorry, I'm trying to find.
What type of role do you, Roger?
For shooting yourself? Just a D20.
All right, I rolled d20, get a 1.
You instead, the gun jams, and you cry and rethink your life. You will not attempt this action for another ever.
All right, let's search the crew quarters.
Okay, so as you search again, is anyone going with you, or are you going by yourself?
I feel the way that the DM's asked me like 4 times. I think someone should go with me. Hey, Ro, do you want to go with me?
Yes, I'll go.
Okay, well, I will try and
Cool.
prep the ship with Jory's character. So we can GTFO if we need to. Okay, so you guys entered the crew quarters. There are what looks to be 3 bays attached to this level, right? There's a small hallway, a small bay, 2 small bays on one side, 1 large bay on the other, and then at the end of the hall there looks to be like a showering area or something to that. You know, you can see the reminiscences of this is a toilet, poop here.
Okay.
Well,
Search the hell out of it.
okay, what is it? Where are you searching? Each one of these rooms is going to have different stuff in them. Also, I just need to know if you're kicking the door open or if you are stealthily peeking in, or what are you doing there? What are you doing?
Well, no one's really heard fucking the gigantic battle we just had. I'm not going to kick the door open and be like, surprise, bitch. I'm going to open the door
Okay.
to the crew quarters.
To which one? There are 3 bays. There's 2 small bays on the left and 1 large bay on the right.
Let's go small. On the left. First one on the left.
Okay, you do so. It is not locked. It looks to be a swing door.
It is not locked. I push open the door.
You do so. On the inside is a small bay with a small plethora of destroyed hammocks. Again, it looks like there was a firefight here. Most of it is knocked over and destroyed.
Can I smell anything? Can I smell anything?
Go ahead.
What does it smell like?
Go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you smell anything that you would consider weird.
Do I get any bonus to 20? Do I get any bonus for being a rat?
I don't think being a rat person gives you any extra smell bonuses.
But 20.
20! Yeah, 20.
It's not working.
What?
Sorry, I'm trying to go through a gate that's big crap. I've got 3 people following me.
Gotcha. Sorry. So, a 20 total for your perception. So as you search about the room, you find... Okay, so what's your total?
Fuck, like 28.
Okay, I was going to say... I'm gonna... Well, so you rolled a critical, though, yeah?
Yes, I rolled a critical.
Okay, so, cool beans. Continue on with what I was saying.
I'm going to check real quick.
Okay.
No, you're okay.
Aha, there it is, 316. You find 5 what looks to be foot lockers that are still intact, not destroyed. Their contents are still there.
Did I smell anything?
Yes, these boxes. They are the only ones that aren't smelly.
That aren't smelly? Describe the smell, Roger.
Smelly. They do the smell. I
Do
don't
they
know.
smell more?
So they smell like, dirty clothes or things like that. So the ones that didn't smell like that, you picked up.
Ah, good for me. Are any of these things locked?
Yes, all 5 of them, which is what brought them to your attention.
Do any of them have what appears to be like a trap on them?
You would say no. It wouldn't really make sense for these to be locked, but yeah, I'm going to say this one. You can't see if they have traps. They're fine.
Okay, Roger, hold on, I have to check.
Nothing down there. That gate's not working.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yep, exactly. Or a button to push to talk to somebody. Yep. Let's see if we can get out.
So can I try and I don't know, what can I improvise lockpicks or try and find keys? Like, how are they locked? Is it like a code lock, or is it more like a key lock, or like a
These,
combo?
these seem to be much more basic mechanical locks, like someone just attached a lock to it. So you could try doing sleight of hand to break the lock off. You could do a strength check to rip them off or make an attack. Yeah, again, think like basic normal mechanical lock.
Well, there's no real rush. You know what I
Correct.
mean? So I'm gonna
Correct.
start moving them over to the fucking the no, I guess
You do have an hour and a half, but it does probably take about 5 minutes to go from the hangar bay to where you're at, just because of all the stairs and stuff you have to climb.
And what about carrying the box of one,
Well,
one a box?
a character of your size could probably carry one at a time. Your four-armed friend, on the other hand, could probably carry two or three at a time, because you only need one hand to climb down the ladder.
Can I put one of my cheeks and then climb down the ladder with one box?
If I remember correctly, you have a grenade in your cheeks, and these are a little
I
bit
know.
too. These are a little bit too big to fit in your cheeks. They are not a.
Are they bigger than 6 cubic feet?
Are they what?
Are they bigger than 6 cubic feet?
Cubic feet.
Because if not, I can stick them in my cheeks.
Okay, you can fit one of them in your cheeks.
Let's go.
So you can carry two, and between the two of you, you can take all five of them to the ship to open them later if you want.
Let's do that.
Okay, it takes you 10 minutes of your time to do that. While that was going on, since I finally found the page here, El Capitan, your role in combat is about encouraging the crew while taunting the enemy into making critical mistakes. A starship can only have one captain, and the character assumes this role only if it is currently vacant. The captain alone can act on any phase of combat. Oh, excuse me, sorry. The action the captain can take is described on a different page. But basically, captain's action. So you can demand, encourage, taunt, order, and do a moving speech. That's what a captain does.
A moving speech. What constitutes a moving speech? Do we have to come up with our own moving speech?
Well, you can do.
Okay.
You can.
Yeah, that doesn't work. There's another gate through a yard on the other side of the overpass.
My
I'm gonna see if
moving
I can get it
speech
open.
is the one from Independence Day.
Yes.
Yeah, to the right. Just follow it back around. You'll see it. If it opens, I'll stay there.
Unfortunately, you can't even do it though, because it's at 12th level.
Oh, really?
Yep. So I take that back. The ones that you can do currently at your current level are demand, encourage, and taunt.
Ah.
Well, I can definitely demand.
Yeah. And they are intimidation check is the demand. Encourage is a. So encourage, you make a skill check of whatever skill you want the crew to use, and they get pluses to it when they have to roll it. And then in taunt, if you can communicate with the ship, you do a bluff or intimidate check plus some stuff. If you succeed, the enemy characters acting on the other ship take a -2 penalty to all their stuff, which seems exciting.
It does seem exciting, Roger.
So if someone's got a -2 and they roll a critical, does that mean they only get an 18?
So no, the modifying parts of the thing do not negate your dice rolls. If you roll a critical, you roll a critical. Same thing with critical fails. If you roll critical fails, you roll critical fails. Though, on checks, it just ends your turn for the most part. It doesn't actually do anything super crazy, unless narratively it makes sense for it to do bad things to you. So, you guys go back and forth. You figure out what the captain does, where they sit. Does that feel like a comfortable spot, or do you want to learn about one more position before we flip back to the other guys?
Nah, she's only gonna learn to be captain.
All right, that's all you care about. You start reading the captain's code book, yada yada yada. You're pretty excited about what you're figuring out. Raj seems to be doing something on the computer, which I will do some hidden rolls in the background here because I can do that. If I could find it. All right, back to you guys. You take another. You've traveled there, dropped off the stuff, and traveled back. You're now back at the crew quarters.
All right. Wait, you mean I'm not back at the ship, right?
No. You dropped all the stuff off the ship. I assume you wanted to go back to the crew quarters.
Yeah.
Okay, you are back at the crew quarters.
The second one.
Okay, you go to the next small room. This one doesn't look like it has been disturbed. There is a very similar pattern to these types of bunks and whatnot, though most of them aren't destroyed, unlike the other room. That seems to be in pretty good condition. Apparently, the firefight that occurred earlier did not occur up here.
Well, that's weird.
That's
really weird.
There are a plethora of similar boxes from before. Would you like to start transporting those? If you decide to pick up the boxes, I'm going to roll to see how many there are that are worth, stealing, quote unquote.
Do I smell anything in this room?
You can make a perception check.
17 total.
17 total. So, again, nothing out of the ordinary. It smells like dirty feet, and that's about it. Kind of to be expected from the crew's quarters. Especially one that hasn't been cleaned in however long it's been since people were back here.
Is there dust on the floor, Roger?
Yes, actually. Not a lot.
Does it look like there's dust?
But some.
Does it look like any of this dust has been disturbed?
Not in the last however long it's been.
Where did it go?
All right, I searched the room.
Okay.
It won't work either.
Again, there's really nothing. Well, I take that back. You could maybe find something hidden. I guess. You've already made a perception check, though, and you didn't see anything crazy.
I didn't smell anything crazy.
Right. Okay, so you would like to do a visual check? Okay, go ahead.
19.
19, good roll. Again, pretty plain, open in the obvious. If crew were hiding things here, they weren't hiding them outside of their own lockers.
All right. Start transporting some of those lockers back over.
Okay, there are a whopping... Of course, I put those dice. The one dice I need away. Come here, the D30, I need you. Nice. There are 23 of these things.
Jesus Christ.
And you know from the last room that some of them are just going to have dirty clothes. Because that was, quite a few of the old ones that were broken open were just dirty clothes.
All right, well, I'm going to start breaking some of the locks off.
Okay.
Better yet, I have the gigantic dude break them off.
Okay.
Hey, yo, Halfdoor, go ahead and rip this shit off, please. Anything good, Roger?
How long do you guys take to do this? Because again, there's 23 locks. Takes
5 minutes each.
Yeah, because
10 minutes. Let's do 2 and see what happens.
Okay, you open 2. Let me roll percentile die and see if there's anything cool. So the first box, you got dirty clothes. Sorry, you eat that off to the side. The next box. Oh, so close to 69, 67. So as you go through this box of stuff, there really isn't anything interesting. It's dirty clothes, except on the underside of the rim, there looks to be a small hidden box. Obviously, it's not super well hidden, but it's from the outside you can't see it. And inside the box is a small credit chip.
Ooh, how much is on the chip?
You don't know and can't check it from here.
All right, well, I show fucking Gigantor. I'm like, hey, good job. Yeah, let's search 2 more.
Okay, you spend another few minutes breaking open those. Yeah. Oh, okay. This one is empty.
Oh.
I rolled in the odds, so it's better. Wow, yeah, another empty one. Completely empty. Like, you guys break it open, 2 of them in a row, and there's just nothing in there for either of them. Like, not even very close.
Now, how much time is left in our adventure?
So of the hour and a half that you started with, you guys are sitting at just above an hour, or just below an hour.
All right. I'm gonna go meander on over to the shower area.
Okay, you meander over into the shower area. You enter the shower area. Again, it's a sliding door, just as you walk through it, kind of thing. This is a large showering area. So they got bathing areas, they got sanding areas, they have various alien
Area.
cleaning areas. Yeah, kind of built together. It's kind of hodgepodgey. And it's obviously built by people that weren't trying to spend a lot of money on stuff that they didn't care about. So the only thing that's any kind of nice is the regular humanoid showers.
Sounds like prison.
Probably pretty close. They're separated by small stalls, and then the main shower area is just kind of an open bay looking thing. There is mold everywhere.
Everywhere, huh?
Everywhere. Again, this place hasn't been cleaned in some time, and apparently whoever used it last was dirty. But there is mold.
Toxic?
Depending on the mold and how much there is, maybe you'd have to do some kind of check to see if you know if it's poisonous to you or not.
What type of check you want?
Life science or medicine.
I think I can afford a life science.
Okay.
24.
24. Well, nice roll. Good. So, you know specifically that this mold that is growing out here is not edible by far. It's probably not poisonous unless you inhale or ingest it. Ingest it.
I was like, what the hell is injecting fucking mold in there?
I'm the mold god. I shall grow mushrooms out of my body. But yeah. What you do notice is there is a large clump of mold in one of the corners.
Yeah.
Mold eats you. We all die.
Carter,
Yes.
you say what you do notice is
Oh, a large mound of mold in one of the corners.
okay. Is that mold different from the other mold?
It's not a different coloration or anything. It's just like everything else is kind of like it's just grown on and little patchy. This looks like it's like maybe going over something.
Maybe going over something, and if I ingest it, I'd die.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I guess I could go fucking cover my mouth, I guess, and nose, and go try and get some of that stuff off of it.
So you go over and cover your face best you can, and start scraping away at the mold on
Now,
the outside.
Is
Right?
is it like a thick mold, or is it more like airy and like?
As you touch it with what are you scraping off with? Are you using a weapon or hands? What are you doing here?
I'm sure there's some type of like fucking like stick or like discarded like rod or something in there.
There's a moldy broom that you could pick up.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Okay, you pick up the moldy broom. You beat up the mold with the mold. You take said broom and go over there and start scrubbing things off. And yeah, this is a thick mold, almost hair-like thickness. It is coming off in chunks.
But it's not like really airy, right?
No, this probably isn't a spore-based one.
Okay.
This is definitely something that like grows on the surface of things.
All right. Moving on.
You scrape off as much of this as you can, and underneath looks to be a small cryopod.
Small cryopod. Can I see what's inside the cryopod?
You can see what's inside the cryopod. It looks to be some kind of alien something or other that was being grown in said cryopod, or maybe not grown but stored. It obviously wasn't supposed to be in the bathroom. This looks like it was some kind of desperate attempt to plug it into a power source that was close to where we're at. As you'll notice, there are some lighter spots where it looks like maybe some kind of firefight took place in here quite some time ago. The mold has covered it up pretty well, though.
Is the cryopod plugged in so it has
Yes.
power?
Yes.
If I unplug it, how long do cryopods backup power last?
Depends on the cryopod. With the size of this one, probably less than an hour.
So is there a way to plug this into our ship?
You do have a med bay on your ship.
I asked the big dude, I'm like, hey, you want to bring this back to the ship? Might be valuable.
Be happy to.
Okay. So go ahead and make an athletics
That's
check
fine.
to rip this thing out of the wall / carry it to the ship.
Well, I mean, I'm going to unplug it from the wall, obviously.
Sure. You can be delicate about it, but I need RJ's character to make the athletics check because he's the one doing the stuff. You have a plus 9 for your athletics.
Okay. Second.
Go ahead.
So 24.
24. What a roll! Yeah, you got it, easy peasy. You delicately unplug it and then start taking it down the ladder and stuff. It's heavy, so it's kind of slow to do so. It will take you 20 minutes to get to the ship, to get there carefully. You know what I mean? You're trying not to drop this thing / whatnot. But you do make it to the ship. You do install it into one of the medical bay power ports.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone needs to make an engineering check so they can figure out how to attach the cryopod to the medical bay.
1 second. How does a 29 work, Roger?
Well enough. You're like, I've plugged one of these in before. And you hook it right up.
I know what this is.
So you guys have 10 minutes left. Sorry, math over here. Sorry, I take that back. You guys have 40 minutes left. Cool.
I'm going to go familiarize myself with the pew pew station.
Okay, so you would like to figure out how to do the pew pew. The pew pew is important. So, gunners. You operate the starship's various weapon systems, using them to stabilize or destroy enemy vessels. A starship can have more than one gunner, or gunner team, per weapon mount. A gunner acts during the gunnery phase, and the action the gunner can take are described on those pages. You can shoot and or fire missiles.
Ooh, I like shooting and missiles.
So when you guys do the rolls for your gunnery stuff, it is based on your piloting skill still.
Ah. Cool.
Yeah. 1 second, let me get to the spot, make sure I'm not lying here really quick. So, corrections, engineer actions, blah blah blah. Gunner actions. So fire at will. You can fire any 2 starship weapons regardless of their arc. Each attack is made at a -4 penalty. Just your regular shoot. You can fire one of your ship's weapons. If you use a turret weapon, it can be targeted at any of the arcs. Oh, I should probably explain that about your ships. Your ship has 4 arcs. If a weapon is not in a certain arc, it cannot fire into another unless it has a specific descriptor called like broad shot or something along those lines that allows it to go into one arc over one way or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's talking about when it's talking about arcs. Broadside, you can't do that 6th level. Okay. Gunnery checks here. I found it. So, as a 1d20 plus the gunner's base attack bonus or the gunner's ranks and piloting skill, whichever is higher, plus the gunner's dexterity mod, plus the bonuses from computer systems, plus the bonuses from captains and science officers, and then the range penalty. That's all the math you need for a gunnery check. It's a lot, and I apologize.
I need a book.
Yeah. I will try to make it simple for this upcoming stuff. All right, so you guys have a little bit of time left. One more room to check, or you just familiarize yourselves with these other positions that you can do. Obviously, you want to do the gunnery position, but the other positions that you guys can pick on the ship, and all of them will have a bonus to the ship itself. Obviously, we need a pilot. But I am happy.
Well, Raj,
I was going to say.
Well,
you
I
should
think
learn to be the
I think
pilot.
pilot,
yeah, the pilot.
you know, who knows?
Uh,
The open seas shall be the captain or the pilot. I guess. Are we considered an air force or a space force or a sea base? I don't know. Navy? No. Anyways, moving on with our lives.
Considering I have a 14 in piloting, yeah, I'm probably the best pilot here.
I think I have more than a 14.
I'd be very
I don't.
surprised if you did.
Roger's like, you have a more than a 14? What?
That'd be a lot.
No, I don't.
Okay, so the other positions, obviously pilot does the piloting stuff, which allows me to move and fly and whatnot. The other positions are engineer and science officer. Science officer uses the ship's computers, scanners, and other systems to identify threats, targeting foes, navigate hazards. A ship can have a number of science officers. A science officer acts during the helms phase of combat. And the actions the science officer can do are listed later. Engineers. You work with your ship's power core and engines to achieve maximum efficiency. You grant extra powers at times of need and divert power to vital systems as necessary. You can also repair damaged systems, as a starship can have any number of engineers. An engineer acts during the engineering phase, and the actions you can take on those phases are listed with all the other fun stuff. So, phases that we get to go through, and I want to wait for RJ to come back because he also has to pick a thing. But I'm going to tell you how my rolls went for Raj while he was doing stuff. I was doing computers checks while you guys were out fixing things, and I was installing that frozen AI that you guys picked up earlier. And this AI doesn't have a name, so you guys get to name it. You can also pick its robotic-y gender. What would you like it to sound like?
Samantha.
All right, so you want it to be a girl. I unfortunately cannot do girl voices very well, so it's gonna just sound like me.
Wait, hold on.
But
Isn't
Samantha.
your voice girl?
Say what?
Aren't you doing a girl voice right now?
Oh! You wound me. I am wounded. Okay, so you guys boot up Samantha. And Samantha says she is willing to cover whatever sector of the ship that you guys do not cover. So she's basically a free person to fill in that other position.
Samantha, what are you most comfortable doing?
She doesn't really have a preference. She says,
She doesn't have a preference?
So
has she been programmed?
You guys will know that basic computers can do the things that she's suggesting. She is just not going to suffer the penalties that normal computers do when they do stuff. Because we have a good computer and her, they basically work in tangent to negate any of the negatives that the computer rolling would get. And you're still rolling just a 20, but that's better than just assuming 10 and whatnot for Starship stuff. So, RJ, we got 2 spots left that need covering for this ship before we take off. An engineer and a science officer. Engineer is...
Science officer?
You want to be a science officer? Okay, cool.
Probably better than an engineer.
I mean, you could also do a gunner. Because we can have multiple gunners. Thoughts?
Or do we want to have 2 engineers, a computer and me, because she can tell me what the hell to do?
Well, I think if she takes over stuff, she's probably going to be all science officer because honestly, that's the easier of the two positions. You don't
I think if
necessarily.
any where it's Russ, just saying.
Say what? Sorry.
You know, I'm thinking if anybody should be an engineer, it's Russ because he's engineered my ass out of some stupid situations before, so he can be able to do it again.
That's funny. Okay, so we'll throw you in an engineer for now and throw her in a science officer.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's get through this action thing, and then we'll get through our next bit. So you guys boot up, get into your spots and seats throughout the ship. You're not necessarily all standing next to each other. This isn't the bridge of the Enterprise or anything. The only two people that are actually sitting next to each other currently are the captain and the pilot. Gunner, you have your own special bay, and you have like 4 seats to pick from, kind of thing. And each one of those seats controls a couple different guns. Yeah. They control one. There's one chair for each arc, and then all arcs can control the turrets. So you get to pick which arc you're sitting in on your turn. So you guys start booting up the ship. Engineer, speaking of, I'm gonna need you to do start the engine action basically. Get over here to engineer options. Right, hold it together, patch. Alright. Okay, you don't have 6 ranks in engineering, so I'm not going to worry about that. So, you are going to make a divert power roll, which is... sorry, I'm looking at this stuff. Okay, so not worried about that. You just do an engineering check, and then I got the DC.
Okay, so I got the roll of 18, and I need to look at my.
Don't worry about your stat for engineer. For one, for you, it's like a 0.
It's a 0, yeah, so 18.
Good roll. You succeed. You divert power to the engine, so you guys can get out of there fast. Captain, you can tell us to take off and give me a bonus if you would like by using a encourage or demand action.
By using what action?
A demand or encourage. This is on our captain, Pandora. Pandora, tell me what to do.
Yes. Fly us out of here.
Okay, is that a demand, or are you encouraging me?
That's a demand.
Okay, so you make a demand.
Get the fuck out of this planet that's gonna kill us.
So go ahead and roll a intimidation check.
$18.
18. All right. So any pluses to that? Do you want to roll a expertise die at all?
Yeah, nah, I think 18's fine.
You sure?
I'm not letting you say it like that. I'll freaking roll the expertise die. And that's a D20, right?
Mm-hmm. No, expertise. I believe is actually like a D4, D6 at this point for you. Give me 30 seconds to get to my voice. Expertise. Here we are. You can roll an extra 1d6 at this point.
Okay. So it's a 2, which will put me at 20.
Perfect. Okay. And you can do that as many times as equal to... okay, as long as you have a resolve point. So it doesn't cost you anything, you just have to have a resolve point. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, so yes, with that, good thumbs up, high five. That gives me a +4. The divert check gave me a +2, so I'm sitting at a whopping +6. Guns, you really can't help me right now. There's nothing to blow up. Sorry. On the other hand, get to fly. Fly like a bird, gonna fly away. Our computer tells us that there's nothing bad directly in front of us and we should go. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the piloting skill is at. Should just be fly, but I want to make sure I'm not doing it wrong. But here we are. Fly! Haha, helm face. So, maneuver, stunt, full power. Full power! And I have at least 6 ranks in piloting. You can spend 1 resolve point to move your ship into 1 half times its speed, and you can make the areas move it. You add a 2 to your starship distance between turns. Sweet, so I'm going to burn a resolve point to do that so we can get out of here extra fast. And then we'll just do a maneuver because I have to get out a small, thin opening to get through without, bashing the sides of our ship open. Because it's not really open, it's just kind of, there. Okay. Dice, where are you? Hello. Luckily, I have a +14 with this. It's not quite guaranteed, but it's pretty darn close. Wow, that was a terrible roll, and I still succeeded. Thank you, +14. So total of 21. I get to maneuver through the thing. Oh, I also forgot you guys gave me +6. So as long as I didn't critically fail, we would have made it out of there. We did! Congratulations! We've as fast as we can out of the space dock. The Revenge is holding together pretty sturdily. We didn't break anything. We've overpowered stuff successfully. The robots that are, we're fixing the ship are in pieces now because, they smashed themselves, besides the 3 that we put in the holding cell. Other than that, we're in space! And we quickly realized, after looking out our viewing windows, that we were on a large asteroid that had its own atmosphere. And speaking of that atmosphere, it is a rolling atmosphere. So the atmosphere travels around the planet and is chased by some kind of cloud, almost like a day and night setting. You can see this green cloud. It is very, very clear why pirates would use this as some kind of base, because no sane person would land there. But I digress. You guys take off into the night. So, you guys are in a giant asteroid belt, is the best way to describe it. There's a whole bunch of large planetoid-esque asteroids spread out throughout this belt. Where do you guys want to go? What is the thought? What are you going to take off towards?
I mean, go ahead.
I'm listening.
My thought is my character wants to go to where her tour ship is.
Okay, so you want to find your tour ship. You guys don't have a date of when it is still, so it could have been months, years, days since you were captured. But you decide to try and figure that out.
Is there any dating system on the ship?
Probably a smart choice to check that out. Do you do so? That's not really an action.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys will find out that it has been 7 months since any of you last remember something happening. And for a couple of you, it's even longer than that.
Explain.
So you guys were captured and basically just thrown into those pods, right? And then shortly thereafter, the other ship probably crashed, and you guys have just been sitting on that planet waiting for the death rain to eat through your windshields, like every other person who's there. Yeah, your cryopods. Listening.
I would like to try and figure out why the fuck the pirates got us all together in the first place, or how they captured all of us together.
Sure. So Raj will explain this to you. As one of the other pirates had a wonderful idea that we would ransom people at various prices to various people. and had us invest in a whole bunch of cryopods. Now, in all honesty, the captain thought it was just because his cousin sold cryopods and they needed to get rid of them, kind of thing. But it seemed like it would turn a profit eventually. If we got enough high-profile people, we could pick them up. Unfortunately, it's really hard to find high-profile people that aren't traveling around with a whole bunch of protection. And the first time we tried it, we lost a ship capturing some silly rock star. Then I look around and go, that one. That silly rock star, actually. This is definitely her fault. So they stepped down to lower-tier travelers. And besides the regular piloting they would do on their ships, they would also take a crew prisoner, or a member that they thought was the crew prisoner, and see if they could ransom him back to that ship shortly thereafter. The problem was, most crews didn't pay for their people back. They just kind of like, sucks for them, we'll get a new one. And then we had an overstorage of things. So Captain was taking him to the pirate planet base thing to train them as new people after explaining to them, hey, your old friends that abandoned you, join us, kind of thing.
And what about me? You know, the silly rock star.
Yeah, you. Well, you. How do I say this? I think your manager was more excited that you got taken away for publicity reasons. He was really milking it, to be honest.
Dick.
Yeah, like, we direct messaged him.
Is there a phone I can use to call him?
We have long-range communication on this thing, so you can talk to the science officer. She might be able to patch it through, but don't expect anything quick. We're in the middle of space, not next to any sending towers. Though, we could find one of the stations out here and dock on that.
What about the guy who came up with the idea for capturing the prisoners?
You mean the second in command? He's probably on the trader ship with I don't know, what did we call the bad guy last time? Does anyone remember?
No.
We're gonna call him Desmond.
I'd like to go kick Desmond right in his nuts.
I 100%.
You do that. I'd like to go kick my managers in the nuts.
Well, we're at an impasse because they're probably nowhere near each other. How about we go... Well, we need information on the other pirate. So how about we go to a local star station and figure it out from there?
I concur, mi amigo.
Sweet. Right.
That's fine.
Okay. So, do you guys want to be a lightning bolt? A set of runes? Actually, I'm going to give you an actual token, because why not?
Roger, I mean, a set of runes would be cool. Depending upon the rune.
How about a shark? No, I can't be that big, darn it.
How about a rune, bro? You said a set of runes. What are the runes?
The runes are...
Stuff.
This little token.
Will be
I can't even...
Again, they are...
Yes.
It's meant to be small. It's meant to be small, because, you know... reasons. Okay, 1 second. Alright, put those over there. 1, 2 of those. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, so, as you guys are flying along, your, handy-dandy comms officer, or science officer, says, we have problems directly in front of us. There's a small fleet of ships, and they do not look friendly.
Ooh, I know friendly ships. And they do not look friendly.
Yep.
Can we hail them in comms?
You 100% can. You will lose the essence of surprise, but they are currently scavenging what looks to be the remains of another ship.
Oh, they're scavenging?
Let's try and
Hey,
sneak
Captain,
past.
we should try and bluff them that we're more than just one.
We probably should just sneak past.
We should just sneak past them.
Sneak it then.
Okay, so that's that. You can do that. You're allowed to try and sneak.
I mean, do we have some type of like protection radar on our ship?
Not really.
I guess. Oof.
How's that for the board? So Weird thing about this system is it uses a hex grid when you're in space. So we will be on the hex grid. Alright, there are currently 3 ships here. And then I'm going to use the rubble as this red dye, and they're all kind of surrounding it, all within one thing, and they are all doing stuff. They are actually all the same ship. I just have them on different designs so you can tell them apart. Science officer is going to roll and see if she can gather any information about them without probing their sensors. I'm going to check Twitter really quick and make sure no one said anything. Nope. Okay, cool beans. So, find an appropriate tier here. Sorry. So, these are all multifold G7 auto haulers. They actually are. Probably should only have one of these. So I take that back. The big old hand here is the auto hauler, and it is being escorted by 2 much smaller ships. They look to be KC K-51 Skyfishers, which are basically small interceptors. They're one-man ships, so wings and shieldy dude.
What's the range on those things? Like, how far can they travel?
They are pretty fast. They can definitely catch up to us. The thing is if they scan us when we're scanning them. So, that's what I'm going to do.
How far can they travel?
What do you mean?
Like, what's their range and distance?
So, they have...
Yeah.
They have a speed... Well, so... The Fishers have a speed of 11, so they're faster than we are. The Hauler has a speed of... If it would load... 6, so we are much faster than the Auto Hauler.
That's not what I meant. Of like, how far do these things usually travel? Is there like a mothership that they're reporting back to, or could these be like?
So you guys will know that the auto hauler could probably have those ships land on it, whereas the auto hauler itself does not have a drift drive, so it has to be from something somewhat local.
Figured that.
Oh no, I lied. It has a drift drive. It's got a drift 2 drive. It's got a better engine than we do.
Oh, really?
Yep. Technically, it's the same tier as we are. So, what do you guys want to do? You've got scans, and on my roll for if they see you, 1 didn't see you, 2 didn't see you, 3 didn't see you. Wow, I rolled 2 2s and a 5. Plus their pluses is still trash. So you guys have successfully scanned them without them noticing, but you're in a big openy area. There's not really a get by them without them seeing you. You guys can turn back before you came, but if you get close enough to them, they're gonna pop off. And you know going around them is going to be difficult because there is a couple of densely packed asteroid areas to either side. Obviously, this is an appropriate ambush spot for them to be at, and why there's already a victim of their shenanigans here.
Well, we shouldn't let them see us, because I don't like shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Let's go back around and avoid the ships.
Okay, sorry, I'm changing it so their icons look super similar. Okay, so you want to try and turn around.
Well, hold on, guys. Are our guns heavy enough to take those 2 interceptors out with the first shots?
It's a good question. So, the Skyfishers have a health of 30 with basic 10 shields, and then critical damage at every 6 points of damage they take.
and they would be flat-footed, for lack of a better terms.
Yeah, no, seriously. In space, you still get a surprise round. That's what I'm saying. If you get a sneak up on them now, you're going to have a pretty good advantage. But if we're going to ask on your weapons, right? Then you go back to the weapons page and do that real quick. So, I got full billion papers to go through here, sorry. You guys currently have a light particle beam cannon on the front, 2 light laser cannons on the side, 2 laser cannon turrets, and 1... Oh, no, I apologize, I have that wrong. You have... Oh, no, that's right. 2 laser cannons on... 1 laser cannon on the turrets, 2 laser cannons on the aft, and the heavy particle cannon on the front. You have nothing on the port or starboard. So, laser cannons, where are you? There you are. Are short range, which means you have to be within 4 hexes. And they do 2d4 damage per hit. Your particle cannon does... Sorry, particle beam is long range. And fires 8d6. That seems wrong. Because it's a light particle cannon. That would make sense. Light particle beam, here it is a medium range, does 3d6 damage. And then your torpedo launchers do... Torpedo launchers have long range. They go 16, and they do 2d8 per hit.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, so short, medium, and long range for your shots, by the way, is... Short range is 5 hexes, medium range is 10 hexes, and long range is anything under 20 hexes.
Okay.
I'm actually going to rotate you guys a little bit and have you go this way so you have a little more space to start off, because you need to be at least long range to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, they're in the shadows of the books, which means I have to turn on my light so y'all can see. Ta-da! Okay, so noted, this hex board is not really big enough for these combats, at least for long range. But you'll notice that they probably cannot read you at this point, because you're probably way out of their sensor range. Sensor range works exactly like weapons range, so since you guys have long range sensors, you can see them. They, on the other hand, do not. Oh, sorry, I take that back. The Skyfishers could detect you, but they rolled terribly. And the other one here has... It can't see you at all. It only has short range, so it can't even, see anything beyond short range. So you guys have a major advantage against the hauler, which is this guy over here, the little hand, comparatively to the others. So, yeah, at this point, you could duke it out long range with the ships. Also, I don't think they have any long range weapons. Though I probably shouldn't tell you that, but that's on you guys. Yeah. I take that back. They have light torpedo launchers as well. So they can see long range and they can shoot long range. But they haven't seen you yet.
Interesting.
All right, gerbil boy, fire ahead.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So how
you're,
many
let's-
torpedoes do?
so you're firing the torpedoes. So they travel at 16 per round. So you fire it the first round and it starts going. They'll get a chance to detect it because it won't reach them, obviously. For your torpedoes, I'm going to use this little black die. And it'll tell you how many turns away from them you're going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're in range, right?
You are in range to shoot, but your torpedo only goes 16 squares per round.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can we move up 4 and shoot so it's in range?
Well, you could, except for the gunnery range is like the start. So, how this works combat-wise, right, is there are phases of combat. Again, let me get to the right page so I'm explaining this correctly. Past building a starship. Past weapons, past shields. Past the things before the corrections. Having a book is nice. Not having the book page is marked. Annoying. So, rounds and phases. There's the engineering phase. The engineers on all ships at present take their actions. These actions can be simultaneous and resolved in any order. Then the helm, which is the moving, attempts piloting checks. Pilot with the lowest result moves the ship first, and followed by the next lowest result, so on and so forth. There's a tie with the pilot with fewer planes. Thing must move the ship first. If they're still tied, two pilots in question re-roll. Then there's the gunnery phase, and then we restart. So, my apologies. Yes, we could move before we fight. So, helm, engineering. Is there anything you want to do during your turn?
We need to turn on shields or deflector shields?
You can assume that is the case, but as stated before, one of your actions that you can do is divert, and that will add extra energy to stuff, adding +2. So if you want to give a specific crew member extra power, or if you want to give yourself extra shields for a second, you can do that. But again, you're pretty far out of range.
I guess give the gunner extra whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So, let me go back to. Engineer, divert. Okay, so make an engineering check.
Did you say do an engineering check?
Yep.
Get mine.
So, sending it to the gunner, right? So, when you divert your power, if you send it to
I rolled a critical 20.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. You definitely succeed. So, your choices are you send it to your engines, and they get a +2 to their speed. You send it to your science officer to give her pluses on all of her checks. You send it to your guns to make sure any ones rolled becomes 2s instead. If you send it to the shields, you restore an amount of shield points equal to 5% of the PCU rating of the ship, blah, 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 blah. Up to the shield's maximum value. For you guys, that's like 2 points or something silly. I can do the math in a little bit. But you're sending it to the thing. So basically, when Riley fires, he'll get to any ones he rolls becomes 2. So it makes the damage not minimum. So, Captain, do you want to encourage anybody? Because you can do that at any phase, but you can only do one action.
I'm going to encourage the gunner.
Okay, you encourage the gunner. Go ahead and roll a whatever it is. Sorry, I'm trying to find it.
Look up your ass check.
Yeah, basically. You get a +2 bonus to your action. Oh, okay. So you use your piloting skill or whatever skill the gunner's going to use and roll your check.
Okay, and what is that?
Gunnery is based on your piloting, or what's the other one? Engineering. What's the other one? Okay, 10 seconds. I gotta use the restroom really quick. I apologize.
That's okay.
Let's set this right here. Look at it, all pretty. I'll be back. Ah!
how's the job at the hospital going, Rod?
All right, I'm back.
It's going really good, man. It's really busy. They just hired a new nurse practitioner, so like tomorrow I have to deal with 3 of them. That's always fun.
That's unfortunate.
And a lot of people get sick and move on really quickly, so it sucks when you get attached to them. We're not attached, but you become cordial and friendly with them. But besides that, it's going okay, I guess. How's life in the fiber optics game?
They got me on traffic for the last 3 weeks, so I've just been driving like 300 miles a night.
Terrible, dude.
Okay,
So my mileage check's like $750.
Oh my god.
So the gunner's check, right, is a D20 plus the gunner's base attack bonus or the gunner's ranks and piloting skills. The gunner's dexterity modifier plus the bonuses from computer systems, which we won't have any because we got meh computers. And any cafeteria, blah blah blah. Okay, anyway. So you can either roll a piloting check or you roll a diplomacy check. That's on you.
26.
26 on piloting?
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy. Okay, cool beans. So, with that, you get a +2. So you're sitting at a +4 there, Gunner. Life science officer, doing her thing. That scan. She already did. I'm going to actually say her turns are going to be taken up with the scan because I gave you guys so much information already. And it should have been like 6 different rolls. So that's what she's doing. Rolling. Next is me for movement. I can just move our ship in 6. Since they're standing still, I don't have to worry about movement. We're not chasing them or anything, and we can just go in a straight line. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that puts us in range by 1 of both of them, actually, instead of just being in range of that guy. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Still within range of both of them. Okay, and that's my turn. So, do you do anything?
Time for the gunner.
Gunner, you got a whopping +4 to your attack. And like I just said, it's a D20. So let's just start with that.
Hold on, but I'm trying to navigate my.
Ooh, sorry. If this attack is made by a tracking weapon, such as a missile launcher, you have to lock onto the target's tracking number.
All right. 8 plus. It's like 15.
Gotcha, 1 second. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's still a gunnery roll. It's just AC versus TL. Okay, sorry. So 18 for the gunnery check. Now the next thing is your ranks and pilot skill, or your base attack bonus. And ranks are the things that you've actually trained in, not the total skill roll.
Okay.
So what is higher for you? Your ranks in piloting or your basic attack bonus?
My ranks and piloting.
Okay, so how many ranks in piloting do you have?
6 or 7.
6.
7.
Well, so it's not your total. It's just the ones that you've actually spent points on.
Oh, 6.
So you put 6 points into it? Wow. Okay. So 6 plus pluses. So 6 plus 18 plus your dex mod.
3.
Okay, so... And then plus your bonuses from the computer, which is 0, plus your bonuses from the captain science officer, which from the captain is a +2. And then the range penalty, which you don't have to worry about because we're within range. Now, question being, would you like to do the action at Fire at Will, which gives you a -4 to your roll, but allows you to fire 2 guns?
We're in
Or-
range. I'm not really, Yeah, fire at will, baby.
Okay, so we'll take a -4 to your stuff. You're still way over, so go ahead and roll a second attack. Are you firing at the same
Hold on
ship?
a second. Yeah, hold on, buddy. That one is 17, bro.
Okay. And that one's firing at their ship's AC because you got to fire with a different gun, and we are within 15, so we can actually hit the first one here with our cannon. Light laser beam cannon.
Well, no, it's 28 versus 17 I rolled.
Okay, yeah. Both of those are going to smash, I'm sure. Give me a second. Are they attacking the same target?
No, I'm attack one and then the other small one.
Okay. So, you can hit the farther one away with the missile and the closer one with the... oh, nice. Okay, with the damage. So go ahead and roll damage on the missile, which is 2d8.
2d8?
Mm-hmm. And
7, 8 total.
Your ones automatically turn to twos.
So 9 total.
9 total. So you do 9 points of damage. You see that missile hit, and it rips into their shields. It doesn't go through. It definitely hit.
So it did more than 6. Don't I get a bonus for doing more than 6?
So that's the actual health. You basically just tore through their shields. So hey, they got some left, but not a lot. Second hit hits the other ship, and that is a 3d6.
Okay. Hold on.
Hold it.
Six.
Okay, nice.
4.
Nice.
5. 15.
15 points of damage. Yeah, you smash through that the second ship's shields and do a little bit of damage to it. I mean, not a little bit, like a sixth of its damage. That's a good shot. But yeah, it's not happy. And thus ends our surprise round. Now they get a turn. I get to roll their initiatives. You guys, actually, every round we get to roll initiatives, and it's based on my piloting skill. So let's get ready for this. They're critical. They go on a 17 though, so they move first. We shoot first. So the two that got attacked are going to move first. So engineering check. One of them is going to try and do a get its shields back online, and then the other one is just going. I said one of them is going to try and get its shields back online on its engineering check, and then the other one is going to try and divert power to its guns. I can't help that. You control your own volume. I'm not.
I mean, you are up all the way, bro.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is. That's on me. All right, 6 and an 8, plus their pluses. Roger, it's on the book, you dum-dum. It's on your phone. I'm going to set the book on the corner here, so when I need to look at the corrections, I can't. Wow, okay, so they don't even have an engineer, so they can't do that. Never mind. Yeah, I take that back. So they can't do anything during the engineer round. Engineer on our turn. Do you want to do anything this time, or what you doing? What's the thought?
I guess I'll just do the same thing with the guns again.
Okay, go ahead and roll your engineer check.
Actually, 11 plus 9 is 20.
20. All right, yeah, too easy. You divert to the guns again. That's your turn. Next is Helm, so movement phase. They move first, and then we move. So they have a speed of 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11? Because they can fly through debris, no effect to space, they just fly around it. So they are both very, very close. And that is their movement turn, because they're just flying. That's for whatever stunt. So not whatever stunt. They're not going to be full power, or they can't do that. Okay, cool. Yep, that's what they do. They charge headlong into us. Now it's our turn. And since they didn't turn at all, they just flew straight. They didn't take any negatives. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And get within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the big ship. So we are just outside of short range for the scanners, but we are within medium range to shoot at them. And then we are, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're in short range from the other two. So we get to shoot first. Who are you shooting?
I'm full blasting the one directly in front of me. Firing at will with both of them.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we are currently facing this guy. So you got to shoot out of the side arc or use your turrets.
So side arc would take longer. So if I use my turrets, what are the turrets?
So the turret, actually, we don't have any side arc, so you have to use the turrets. But they're light laser cannons. They do 2d4. And I think they're short range, so they can hit this guy, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5, yeah. This guy's in range.
If I shot on an arc, what's the negative?
So you can't shoot at arc. Your gun doesn't point that direction. But you could definitely use your torpedoes.
I can use my torpedoes to fucking blast that dude.
You can fire one shot of torpedoes, yes, at this dude and blast that dude, and then you can fire your light lasers at the dude and do a little bit more damage.
We'll do that right there.
Okay, roll your gunnery shot with the torpedo.
Natural 20.
Okay, so you get to roll double damage basically, because I really didn't talk about crits in space that I saw. So what that means, since you're using the whatever, roll 2d8. So roll 4d8.
48.
4d8. Yeah, this dude's done for. You just hit him right in the face. And remember, any ones become 2s.
48. All right, hold on. It's gonna take a minute. So 2, 9, 12, 14, and then 3 more is 15.
15 total?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was the one that you hit for serious damage last time, so he's taken 20 points of damage because he didn't get to fix his shields at all. Which means he's gotta do. I gotta do a couple rolls for him for crits. So he's sitting at 1, 2, 3 crits so far. Oh no. Oh, okay, cool. Now I gotta see where they're at.
What type of roll you need, Roger?
No, it's on me. I gotta find where it's at. Sorry. Actions, attacking damage, critical damage conditions. Hooray. So, I lied. I forgot. Critical damage doesn't do extra damage. Instead, it does an extra critical slot. I'm going to say that was accounted for with the 3 rolls I made, though. So, they're not going to be as damaged. All right, why did I just roll 20s when I need D100s? So, first one, 34. Weapons array. Randomly determine one arc containing weapon. Wolf. Okay. They only have one arc because they're interceptors. So, that's rough. Okay. Next one is 52. Same thing, so their weapons are now malfunctioning. And third one, 22, which is their sensors. Mission applies to all sides. Okay, so they are suffering a -2 to all their stuff and a -4 to their weapons. And they're pretty beat up. Just so you guys know, there are 3 states of critical conditions. There's glitching, manufacturing, and wrecked. A wrecked system is minimally functional. The cruel action involves the system, except to hold or patch it together, automatically fail. If the power core is wrecked, all crew actions aboard the ships not involving the power core take a -4 penalty. This penalty stacks with penalties from critical damage with other stuff. Anyway, if you do 4 critical hits to a system, it's completely destroyed. So if you hit the power core 4 times, the ship just blows up, regardless of how much health it actually has. Next.
Are they done moving? Is it our turn, or did we shoot and go back to the top of the order?
It's their turn, and since they are not facing you guys, I'm going to see if they have a turret weapon. Okay, so they both have light torpedo launchers, but they're both forward weapons. They're not arcs. So they can't even shoot at you guys because they were facing this way. They would charge straight at you. Didn't turn at all. Just so you guys know, 2 turn, you actually have to move your ship. Since we have average maneuverability, we have the ability to move 2 turns and then to change our direction. These guys have perfect maneuverability, which means they can turn on a dime and literally wherever they stop, they can turn. But since they finished facing towards us, we moved around and did our shenanigans. Just to explain what's happening here. Next would have been this guy. They kind of held their initiatives just because they couldn't see anybody. Now that they can see us, they can't move, but they can shoot. But the question is, do they have weapons that can shoot us? The answer to that question is, I have no idea. Okay, so, looking at here, oh man, that's great. We are just out of range of all their weapons. Wow, I'm a good pilot, y'all. Next. Is top of the order. So we're back to engineering phase.
Boost the guns again.
Okay, roll your engineering check.
It's foggy here. 14 plus 9 is 23.
You succeed.
23, right?
You succeed. You divert to the engine.
Sorry,
You're good to go. You divert the power to the guns. The guns are a little bit stronger than they should be. Next up is piloting phase and engineering phase, which these guys have an engineering phase, and they're going to do the same thing that you just did. If I can find my dice, they're there. They critically fail. They lose their action. Next up, helm phase, which is piloting and whatnot. We get to roll again. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make it easier and just say we get to move second, shoot first the entire time. Just to simplify my life. All right, so they have the ability to perfectly turn, so they can just rotate and pew pew pew. So they're just gonna boop right there. This one's gonna fly forward 1, 2, 3, 4. You kind of do the same thing, so they're both aiming in this area. Not that I can see that, but whatever. And this guy, I didn't roll his yet, so he's way lower than ours, so he would have actually moved first, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he has starboard and side weapons, so he covers about 3/4 of the board. And now it's our turn to move. I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rotate. So we are kind of behind all of them. I think the only one that can shoot at us is the big ship. And then gunnery phase. We shoot first, so gunner, light them up. Same ship. Okay. You do have Big Ship McGee that has all the health and stuff directly in front of you at short range.
At short range, can we full blast Big Ship McGee?
You can full blast Full Ship McGee, sure.
Fire at will.
Okay, you do so. You can fire 2 guns. Do you want to... now, I just asked this. Do you not want to fire at the ship you've almost destroyed?
I'm gonna fire one at Big Ship McGee and then hum one at a ship I've almost destroyed.
Okay, so throw your torpedoes at this guy and then use your light particle cannon on the big ship.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Pew pew, roll against the ship first, please.
19 for the ship.
19 for the ship. It should hit. Let me check and make sure. You were firing a direct thing, so it's AC. Okay, these ships are close, but I gotta scroll a little bit every time I look at it. 19 hits, barely. Whoo! 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 Yeah, roll damage. Oh, we're at the aft, too. Heck yeah. By the way, how your guys' shields are currently divided is 30 divided by 4. So you have like 8 shields in each section, basically. How many? Sorry.
2d8, right?
Yeah, no, for the cannon, it's 3d6.
Okay, that's the torpedo, you mean, right?
No, you were firing the cannon at the big ship.
Yeah. So 1 is 4, 6 is 10, 3 is 13 total.
13 total. So you hit, and you see the shields on the back panel just phase out of existence. A solid swack it was. And then torpedo at the other one. Roll to hit. Okay, 23. It hits by far. Go ahead and roll damage on that one.
That's the 2d8.
Yes, that's the 2d8 one.
Total of 9.
Say that again, sorry.
Total of 9.
9. Okay.
Remember, ones become 2s.
Yeah.
Total of 9.
Okay, that's enough to drop it over another critical threshold. Again, I reduced your damage a little bit last time and instead replaced it with a critical. So, where's it hit this time? 56 on the critical chart. Puts it in the weapons array. Y'all, their weapons are wrecked. If they could shoot at you, they would not. But with 9 more damage, they are barely floating in space. They're still alive. They can still fight, but they are hurt. May I make a suggestion to Jory, since she is the captain and can run around wherever she wants?
Yes.
Pandora, you might want to hop in one of the gunner positions and also fire at will or something along those lines, so we get some extra shots off.
Okay.
Okay, you can do that, because you're the captain and you can act at any phase, so you can give up your captain privileges to jump into a gunner seat. What that does for us is we don't have a captain currently, but I think we'll handle it. I should probably reiterate. Jory's the one that tells us who targets. We get to target, basically. We just get to do the rolls like good little boys and girls. But anyway, you can do the fire at will, or you can fire a single weapon. The torpedo has already been fired, and the whatchamacallit has already fired. But you do have the light laser cannon turret to shoot.
I'll shoot the turret.
All right, you shoot the turret. Pew pew. Roll to hit. So it's a D20 plus your. Why is my brain not working? Plus your either base attack bonus or your piloting ranks, whichever you have more of, which I assume is your base attack bonus, and then any other pluses you have. Oh, your dex bonus. And the only one in range of the light cannons is the big ship, but you're shooting him in the butt, so get him.
Jory, right?
Yep. Waiting on her numbers.
23.
Wow, good roll. Got him. Roll damage. Light laser cannon is 2d4.
5 points of damage.
You do 5 points of damage. Not enough to score a critical, but damage done is damage done. Next. Back to the engineering.
Wait a minute. Did she do 2d4?
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. You're gunnery then.
This should be 4 then. Let's start at 2s.
Did you roll any ones there, Jory?
No, I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Okay. Then all is well.
I thought you said 4. Like,
It's all good. All right. Anyway, pew pew. The big ships get to go again. They missed. You're not an arc for either of them. Big ship McGee, I do not think has a rear arc, but let's check. Attack, port, starboard, forward. It does not have an aft, and it has no turrets. Wow, having turrets is amazing. Why wouldn't you take them? I know they cost more, but man, are they good. Yeah. It can't shoot, so it can't do nothing. Back to engineering phase.
oh, well, I guess I'll redo the guns again, huh?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, interesting.
$13 plus 9 is 22.
Okay. Yeah, your engine or your stuff is all good to go again. So, pew pew pews in space. The big ship actually can do engineering checks, and it will. It's going to use a thing called redivert, where it's going to shift its shield points around so its butt's not exposed, as if it's doing a science officer action. It's a balance, redirecting shields a thing. Alright, so it needs to roll a 13. So if I roll below a 6, it fails to do this. I rolled a 17. Okay, so, yep. It redirects its shields to rebalance them, so... time to do some math. So, total is 30. Oh, because that's not what it is. Okay, so the shields have been rebalanced. It has shields in all 4 quadrants, though you're pretty sure they're much weaker than they were before. Now it is for the movement phase. It goes first. It has good movement, so it only has to move 1 square to turn. And it's just going to go here and rotate. And then go here, and it's going to get a 360 arc go and like leaving its butt on this side. As you can see where the hand placement, I don't know how good it is to see, but it's facing this way. So it's aiming right at us. Ship number 2, perfect movement, so they can just rotate towards us. And they will again fly their speed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're going to go to the edge of the board where you can't see them and flip around backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It has to use all of its speed to do this. But they tried to nanny us. It's now our turn. And to piss them off, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And face us this way. I'm going to move the camera a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, maybe not like that. Sorry. Hello, it's my face.
Ah,
Ah.
Halloween.
Ah! Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you. Oh, there goes my phone. Alright. Come on, camera. Behave yourself. So one thing I don't like about this camera is its base is kind of shoddy sometimes. Okay. How's that look? Ta-da! I just realized is like last time, I meant to click my own page. The thing is huge on the video. For anyone who watches this video later, I'm sorry, I done goofed again. I will remember this eventually. That I'll just put myself on the big screen. It'll be fine. Anyway, there you go. Pew 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 pews. So, we've done nannied them again. The advantage of moving second is you just fly behind people the entire time, apparently. Gunners / captain. Captain, you, since you are the designated captain, you can get out and captain things whenever you want, but I assume you're going to stay in the gunner?
Yeah.
Okay. So, gunners. We shoot first. Who do you want to shoot? Again, we got Big Ship McGee from behind, and then the 2 little ships. This one farthest away is still within range, but not of the big guns. But it is in range of the torpedo launcher. This guy
I'm
here
gonna
is...
fire at the big guy.
Okay, so what are you shooting at the big guy? Light laser cannon again?
Yeah, and I got a 22.
22! You ripped through their shields. Go ahead and roll damage. Well, I don't know if you ripped through their shields, but you definitely hit.
I did max damage.
8 damage! Yeah, you rip through their shields and do a little bit of damage to them, but it's enough to cause a critical effect. You hit their first critical, yada yada. 90? Oh boy, what'd you do to them? 90 is a power core. Oh, all conditions apply to engineer actions except to hold it together and patch. Oh man, alright. So they're now glitching. They take a -2 penalty to any of the engineer stuff. Right?
Don't you know that's how Pandora rolls? Fucks things up.
Just so rude. Okay, yeah. Anyway. Other gunner? Ratman? Pew pew away?
Go ahead. I'm not worried about the one that's all fucked up. And I'm gonna go ahead and focus my attention on the other one. That's the little fighter one.
To the one that's almost dead? Or the one directly in front of you?
One directly in front of us. The one that's almost dead. Oof.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about shooting, right?
Yeah, his stuff is pretty much destroyed at this point. He can't shoot back.
Yeah, I ain't worried about him.
The other guy that's only has a little bit of damage still can, but yeah. Big Ship over here just like, get me. I have no shields. I assume you fired the big guns at him and then torpedoes?
Yeah, everything at that little guy.
Okay, pew pew. I mean, he's not little. It's still a good sized ship.
Compared to the other one, 20 total. And then
So
21 total.
hey, friends, I may have goofed. Let me look at your weapons really quick. Not that I've been giving you the wrong damage, but I think you can actually fire a couple of them more than once when you do the fire well. So, looking at the light laser cannon, there's nothing to slow it down from shooting. Particle, medium, where is it at? Where's it light? It's light. Light torpedo launcher doesn't have any limits. I feel like it should have something, but maybe not. Particle beam also didn't have anything against it. Okay, so yeah, I guess technically all of your weapons that you have at this point can be fired more than once.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, to see if there's anything that's like you can fire it double, but limited fire. Here we go. Okay, so okay, so I guess that's only limited fire, and that only applies to certain torpedo launchers, and the ones that you guys have don't have that issue. So you guys can fire the weapons more than once somehow magically. But okay.
You fire a will twice, or is that another -4 penalty?
No. So like you could fire the particle cannon twice, is what I'm saying. If you take the thing.
Oh. All right. Well, fuck it. I'm gonna fire the particle cannon twice at that son of a gun.
Okay, you do that. Oh wait, sorry. Though each of Starship weapons can only be fired once per round. Okay, I knew it was in here somewhere. So I take that back. You have to do the thing you've been doing. You did it right. I knew I read that. Don't mind me.
Rolling. So I told you my two numbers. 20 and 21, right? Or 19, 20. Something like that.
Both of them hit.
Damage. 3d6, right? And then a 2d8.
Okay.
2. 5.
Oh, okay.
7. 7 total for the d6s.
You mean 14?
No, 7 total.
Wait, you said... Oh, so you rolled a 2, a 3, and a 2?
Yeah.
Wow, that's high tier unfortunate. But...
Rod is like, how does that happen?
You didn't even hit their next critical zone. So roll your next damage.
Which is the d8s.
Yep.
Alright. D8 is 7. And 7 is 14.
There we go. That's the numbers. Okay, so you do full round. You do 21 points of damage to their ship because they don't have shields, right? Because Jory ripped them open for you. Got them up to 8. 8 plus 21 is 29 total points of damage, which means they have 2 more critical. 8, 16, 24. So yeah, two more criticals to go through. So first critical is a 73, which is not their engines or whatever. It is. It's their science officer. To their engines. So they now have glitching engines, which means their flying is reduced slightly. All their pilot actions have a -2. And then their second one is a OT3, which is their life support. All captain actions have a -2. You will know that the ship you're shooting doesn't actually have people on it. There's no life signs. It's a completely automated ship. So destroying its life support system doesn't actually hurt it at all.
Really?
Yes. Next. Top of the order. Because again, you're behind them. You're behind them again. They can't shoot you. Ha 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 ha. You're too clever, they say. So next up is engineer actions. They're going to rebalance their shields one more time, maybe. With their negative penalties, they still succeed because they only need a 13. So their shields pop back up in the rear again, but they are even worse than they were before. But there's something.
Did we take any damage last time? Did they hit us?
They haven't been able to shoot at you guys yet.
Okay, so we'll keep going with the plus of the guns.
Yeah, because like you guys are just out of arc for these guys over here, like just out of arc, and you're directly behind these guys, so they can't shoot at you. They only have forward arcs, and these guys have sides and back and no rear arc. Like you guys don't have side arcs, but you have two turrets. You know what I mean? Your torpedoes and the light cannon, and then you have a big gun on front and a small gun on behind.
Okay.
Whoever designed your ship is a genius.
Probably, it's a pretty smart man. Probably has a nice beard too.
Thank you. So engineering things. Are you gonna help with the pew-pews one more time?
Yep, 19. Or excuse me, 18.
18.
99 is 18.
18, I think is okay for you guys. Yeah, you're still fine. So you divert power once again to the weapons, making sure we ain't getting no ones. Next up is their engineer, which they did. I already said that. Now it's your helm phase. Captain, before we start the helm phase, do you want to get off the guns, or are you sticking up in the guns?
Stay in the gun.
Okay. So, helm phase. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then they're going to rotate to where they're pointing at us here. These guys are going to stay where they're actually, they're going to move right here and rotate their guns this way, so they are covering their friendly ship, which is the damaged one, by the way. Big ship McGee over here is going to go 1 and then rotate 1, rotate 1, and then rotate 1, and then rotate. You're going to stick right next to us. It basically tries to ram us, but we're in space and dodge. We are now in a triangular area of, oh no, they got us. So, since we were facing this way before, we have to move 2, 1, 2 before we can turn. And then we go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, baby! Unfortunately, they will have us on one side with one of their things, and we will be firing into their whatever. We're close, but not quite. All of them are getting shots on us, except for this guy way over here. He says, "Ha-ha, I'm useless." So, that being said, pew-pew time. We get to shoot first. Gunners, Captain, who are you shooting? I mean, the only one in range for you, unless you use one of our other guns, because you're up first. You can fire whatever.
I'll go for the one that's in range, and I got a 20.
Got him. Natural or critical?
Non-nat.
Okay, cool. So, bam, you break their armor barely. Go ahead and roll damage, 2d4.
5 points of damage.
You do 5 more points of damage. So you burn through their shields again, do a little extra damage, but you don't do a critical.
Cool.
Okay, next.
My turn.
Oh, yes, your turn. Are you laying into the big ship again, or are you firing at the little ones?
Well, I'm not worried about the one that's already messed up.
Okay. They're trying their best, y'all.
They're not really though, but
You just have a
it
better
sounds
pilot.
good. You know what I mean? They're not. I would like to shoot at the other one that has fired at us so far.
No one shot at us yet.
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
just suck that bad? Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna shoot at the big one.
So again, usually we'd roll every single round to determine who goes first. But because my piloting skill is that much higher than them, I'm not. It's not worth it.
I'm gonna shoot the big one again.
You shoot the big one. You're super close range. Goof them up. They already have lost their shields.
Firing.
Pew 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 pew. Roll
Gotta
to
get
hit.
back to my app. Boom, boom. Oh, that's cool. I can adjust my pluses right here on the roll.
Ooh, fancy.
25 total, bro.
Got him. Roll damage. Are you
26 is coming your way.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
22. No,
22.
I lied.
Was like
I lied. Hold on. 14's better, right?
14's good. So 14 total on the heavy cannons. They were at 29, so that puts them at 33 points of damage, which breaks their next threshold. They're near death. Let me roll D100 to see what they get. You won't blow them up with anything with your criticals at this point. 60, which is their engines again. So their engines now have a -4 to any of their piloting stuff. Next. Are you gonna pew pew with the rocket, finish them off, or one of these interceptors? What are you thinking here?
Choice or no?
No, she already
The
went.
pilot's
I already went.
Yep, pilot already went. We're waiting on. Are you firing torpedoes, or are you not firing torpedoes this round?
I'm gonna fire torpedoes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I am assuming you're firing all the guns at this point every time. So if that changes, let me know. Roll to hit. How much?
17 total.
17 total. I don't think that hits their target lock actually.
Really?
Nope, it misses. Yep. So your missile flies right under them. We were too close and just.
Interesting. Sucks, Roger.
It does. Next, back to engineering phase. They're going to use two actions actually during their engineering phase. Their would-be captain is going to signal the retreat. They're saying get out, warp out, whatever you need to do, leave the area, leave the area. And then their engineering check is they are going to rebalance their shields again, so they got a little bit of a buffer. They do so. The other two don't have engineering. Engineering, are you giving us boost, bonus, all that fun stuff?
Yep. 22.
Fantastic. All right, so we get the things again for the guns. This is the first round that our science officer can technically do stuff. Just because, again, before she was doing all the scanning, and when you scan, you only get like one piece of information at a time. So since I gave you guys all the information at the start, I had to make up for it somehow.
Hey, Roger, I'm gonna try and reconnect. I'm having a really hard time hearing you guys.
Okay, yeah, you got a second. Go ahead. Nice. Okay, so of course she fails. Okay, so she tried doing a target systems and she failed.
Oof.
Yeah, happens.
I can hear you a lot better.
That's good. Yeah, sometimes you just got to reconnect. Things are silly.
All right, let's do it, Dutch.
Okay. Interesting. So,
Ready for my numbers?
we still got to fly around.
Oh, okay.
I was just doing the engineers thing. So helm check. Again, this thing's gonna just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because it's slow AF. Alright, speed of... Yeah, whew, that's rough. And then these two, I got 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And rotate behind, as if to cover their ship while it flees. This thing's just going to rotate. Actually, this one's going to not move on its turn, and instead going to take a targeting action against us, which it can do because it only has one pilot, and that pilot does all the things. So, rolled a 3. So it tries to lock onto something and fails terribly.
Damn, Ryder.
Our turn. I don't see a need. Well, I mean, I guess we could move behind this other ship. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I don't want to go there because we don't want to get in their arc. So right here, we can just stop right here, and this thing's right at her butt, basically. We're in this one's arc. We're out of this one's arc. We're out of this one's arc. Pew pews. We fire first. Captain, gunner.
I'm ready to fire upon Captain Command.
Get the bastard.
What?
Come on, Raj, for engineering check.
Does a 19 do it?
Big ship. Are we within 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, we were just in range. So yeah, yep. Boom, boom, bam, bam. Roll damage. You said a 19, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, barely. That's their AC.
5 points.
You do 5 points of damage again. Pew 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 pew. You burn through their shields and do a little bit extra damage. Not enough to start the next critical, because honestly, the next critical kills them. But they are barely hanging in there. Next shot. Mouse man.
It's coming, bro. 15.
To hit.
24. 24. Let me change this over. 3d6. 10.
Okay, 10 points of damage. Finishes it off. I'm going to actually mark it with a fancy pansy flame. Okay. And then, you still have another shot, yes?
Oh, yes. That's why it's coming in right now. Wow.
I assume at this guy?
Yeah, 16.
16 beats their target lock. You're within range, so your missile goes... hits him. Roll damage.
Oof. 7.
Wow. Not so great. You do 7
Yeah.
points of damage, which will hit them with another critical. They won't be dead, but they are not doing great. No, oh, sorry. These guys only have 30. So, never mind. I don't even need to roll a critical. Once you hit them, though, 99 right in the face, right in the engine core, right in the soul of their body. Their ship is non-existent. That torpedo hit him right in the center of the chest. Probably killed the pilot with the actual torpedo itself.
Good for him.
He did. I'm gonna. You guys aren't even getting parts for that one. You just.
That's funny. Roger's like, no part for you.
you done splurted him everywhere. So that's gunnery phase. He's out of gunnery range. So on the would be start of the engineer phase, you receive a message from the last pilot. He says, look. You can have the scrap. Just let me get out of here. I don't even have a jump drive, so it's going to I mean, I can't leave the system. Just please don't shoot me.
Where's your commanding ship at?
He says you blew it up. We're a scavenging crew.
Okay. Okay, and where are you scavenging from?
We work out of a port a day or two away without drift drives.
Who's your boss?
Uh, well, you blew him up. He was in the other Starfinder.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and confer with my passengers really quickly, and we're gonna see if we're gonna let you live or not.
Raj turns back and says, "Huh? You gonna let him live?"
I mean, we don't have to.
Hey, you know what we could do instead, though? We could leave straight from here to one of the bigger ports. Have him take our diva friend here in his ship to the nearest port, and she can just hold him hostage until they land or whatever.
Sounds reasonable.
That would solve two birds, one stone. We'll scavenge
I,
what's
I
left of here. You guys can take off.
I agree with that one. Let's do that, Roger.
You guys got to open up comms with him again.
We open up comms and say, hey, you're gonna take this diva to wherever the hell she wants. And in return, you're not gonna die.
He says it's gonna be cramped in here. Do you have a lot of stuff you're taking with you?
No, I don't have a lot of things. They all got blown up.
True. He goes, okay. I gotta land on your ship though. This thing doesn't have a. I don't have a spacesuit.
All right, go ahead.
So we don't actually have a docking bay, but he can fly close enough to us where we can basically attach him to the bottom of our ship.
Yeah.
It's a small process, but this is an appropriate point to say goodbye. For those of you that are watching, our handy dandy rockstar unfortunately had a schedule change and has to leave our sessions as of now, and she will continue her rocking adventure with us, maybe at a later point. Oh, look, my DM hat's still on. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Speaking of timing, though, it's been about a 3-hour session. Do you want to end it here and just do a little bit of talky yada yada about planning for the future?
Yes.
Okay. RJ, you good with that?
Yes.
Okay, so let me minimize stuff and get to OBS. And good night, stream. We'll talk about stuff later. Ha ha ha.